First of all, let's thank God for the blessing of a brand new day and the opportunity to once again enhance self. God could have made your whole life one sunrise and one sunset, but he chose to break it down so no matter how dark it has been, today you have been blessed with the light of another day. And today we're talking about something that needs to be talking about. It's talking about being strange. How many people run from being strange and how important it is to be okay with being strange when it comes to pursuing your goals. If you were watching the Channel 6 news the other day and a guy got on there, he was looking cool and they were doing some type of segment about a wishing well, and he was saying, well, I've been wishing for the same thing for 5 days now, it hasn't come true yet. And the lady on the news camera would say, well, what were you wishing for? And he was to say, I've been wishing to die. Millions of people would look at that TV screen and say, yo, what's wrong with the bull? He got a mental illness. What's wrong with him? Because everybody would agree that he's being strange, walking around wishing to die. But here's the thing. Everybody watching this TV camera in this segment on YouTube today all wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. When you have a goal, it's okay to be strange because sometimes that's the only way to get there. When I was knocking on doors in PG County years ago, I knocked on the door and a young man answered it and he was smiling. He told me that he had just purchased a house from a tax auction and he had purchased 7 of them, him and his family members. The one house that he purchased was worth probably $400,000. It was beautiful. He said he paid $130,000 collectively for all 7 houses. He also said that him and 19 other family members lived in a 2-bedroom apartment for 5 years to save the money. They were of Hispanic descent. He was very excited. Can you imagine how strange he looked when you went in that house and they had curtains up? Can you imagine how strange it was when everybody's sitting around eating some small, meager meal and everybody's cramped up and people are sharing the same TV and everybody's just living tight? How strange did that look? But how beautiful did it look when he bought those 7 houses in PG County for $130,000 after going through that? When I was a young man, I saw a kid, we were in school, and there was a lot of Asian kids in our school that were really smart, and he was sitting in there, and he just started busting out crying. And I asked him, I said, yo, my man, what's wrong? He said, I got to talk to the teacher. I got to talk to the teacher. And he moved his hand, and he had a B+. And he looked at extremely strange to me because as far as I was concerned, a B+ was okay. But this man was crying. He was literally in tears. And when everybody left, he went up to talk to the teacher because he had goals, dreams, and aspirations. And though everybody in the class, anyone who knew he was crying over that B+, thought he looked strange, but he didn't look strange later in life when he became a dentist. He didn't look strange later in life when he had like 10 locations. He didn't look strange later in the life when he got so much success, but he understood he was okay looking strange when he was going through the process to get what he wants in only the 8th grade. In 1984, there was lots of shoe companies, and believe it or not, Nike wasn't the biggest. And back in those days, they used to get their money for athletes and they would spread them out. Put a little bit of money on this athlete, put a little bit of money on this athlete, and put a little bit of money on this athlete. And at that particular time, they took a risk and they looked very strange because they took their whole budget and they put it on one player. And they took this risk to put this money on one player just so they could hope to make $3 million. Well, that one player ended up being Michael Jordan. And in 2023, that company is worth $165 billion. They don't look strange now, but they look very strange when they took that risk on that one young man that had never played in the NBA. And they looked extremely strange when they gave them their whole budget and all they were looking back for $3 million. And it ended up with $165 billion. In 2003, it was a #1 draft pick. And in 2003, this draft pick said, you will not have the opportunity to represent me as my agent unless you take on my friend from the hood as an apprentice. He looked strange. He should have not made those demands. He looked extremely strange. He should have been happy to get that money. He looked extremely strange. He should have been happy with whatever he can get with the agent that can get him the most money, but he put that stipulation on it. And because he put that stipulation on it, that childhood friend from the hood was named Rich Paul, and not the company, but himself. He is worth $120 million. When I started my business, I did not have the money to pay myself. So 9 to 5, I worked for free. I got up at 2:30 in the morning. I looked strange when I drove to UPS. I looked strange when I was there with Ezar. I looked strange when I took a $10 an hour job and people knew that I never had a job before. And when I got off of work at 5 o'clock for free, I went out and drove Uber all night until 9, 10, 11 o'clock. I looked strange even to my own wife. She said, you're working like a dog and your check is $200 a week. But I did not look strange in a Porsche. I did not look strange in a Benz. I did not look strange in a Range Rover. So do not be okay with looking strange, because you have to understand that is nothing but the gateway to your success. When you have a conversation with yourself, when you no longer care about looking strange, you may look strange with your friends when you didn't see the latest Game of Thrones. You may look strange with your friends when you decide to skip the family barbecue. You may look strange with your friends when you decide that you're not going to the game last night. You're not going to the party last night. You're not going to the local brunch with your boys. You're not heading to the mall hanging out. You look strange when you dedicate yourself to your goals, and it's okay to look strange when you dedicate yourself to your goals, because you have the opportunity to reach your goals when you develop that attitude, and you can be successful. You can do it. It's time to seize the day and believe in yourself and be okay with being strange, because you are on your way to the ultimate level of success. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.